we can be yours, and that is how it works, and that falls under the Share Blocks Control Act. Is there any questions before we move to the activity? Okay, so the activity there will be freehold, leasehold, sectional title, and fractional ownership. And then you must give the definitions of each, your advantages of each. Oh my goodness, I didn't share my screen and I'm carrying on. Oh, my apologies. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, thank you, Rina.
My apologies. I'm carrying on, and I thought it was shared. Oh, goodness. I just want to double check on that other activity that's close here. Any questions on this? Okay, all right. This is your number 14, your property ownership. What I want to tell you is that if you go into Google, this is just a tip that I'm giving, and you put in freehold ownership definition, then it will give you the full definition with the advantages and limitations. So you can draw some of the information from there as well. It is actually, I don't know who has put it up there, very clear on there as well. Then I'm going to number 15 for now, and then we'll go to the, well, 14 is your ownership scenarios, joint ownership, married in community of property, insolvency of registered owner, transfer of ownership. What is the problem here? It's a group activity, description, real estate actions. That was the question. Okay, joint ownership. Your description, you will describe it as, you know, it's like two people or two purchasers that is jointly applying for your finance and to purchase the property, and the property will be registered on both names. The real estate actions, you will still have an offer to purchase. You will still, you will have to find out if it's the ownership, joint ownership, it's still on a title property, and you will still do an offer to purchase. It will go through the ordinary rigmaroles. Married in community of property, the real estate actions, the couple will supply us with their marriage certificate, and then both parties will have to sign. Insolvency of registered owner, that is, the property will go on an auction or selling out of hand, but that will be an auction. That is your real estate action. Transfer of ownership, it is your deeds office. Anybody else would like to add something there?
So Rina,
yes,
just to maybe it's also a question on my side on the joint ownership. Do they need to sign a partnership, or they don't necessarily need to sign a partnership?
No, it's not a partnership. It is the property will be registered on both. Say for instance, no, not really. It's like you and your brother. You and your brother decide, no, we're going to buy this property together. So you sign the offer to purchase together as if the one is the first purchaser and the other one is the second purchaser. And you will both give the FICA documentation and your bank statements, etc., etc.
All right. No, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, so you don't have to sign a shareholders agreement. If you want to sign a shareholders agreement between yourself, it's something different, but the property must be on an OTP. Does that answer the question there? Then it's activity 18. Individual activities, intern estate agents. Your facilitator will divide you into groups. Okay, what does the regulation say? What is the requirements for getting your Fidelity Fund certificate and to be classified as a principal or non-principal agent? Okay, number one, let me go back. That was actually clearly said there. Okay, there is a principal estate agent can be companies, closed corporations, and private individuals acting as estate agents, either alone or in partnership. But we know that if you want to be an estate agent, you cannot be sequestrated. You cannot, you know, by law, be guilty of any illegal offences. So that is a definite can't do. And what you can do is you must have matric preferably, and you must be an intern estate agent working at an estate agency company for a minimum of 12 months. That is for the intern estate agents. Then if you go to the requirements of non-principal agent, you will be you can be a full status agent by finishing your NQF 4, your logbook. And then after you complete the board exam, you will be found competent of the NQF 4 and you will be full status. So that means you are a non-principal agent. Requirements for the principal agent is you must have an NQF 5 qualification and passed. If you want, I can also put on the group this qualification statuses that can help you with this question. Is that all right? Is that clear? Okay, and then it's number 19, deeds office. What is the title deed and what does it look like?
Rina,
yes,
Rina,
Moses.
Just to clarify from the people, I would like to request from the team, the people who ask the questions, if you can, so that she does, if you are not clear what exactly did you want clarity on a specific question, so it helps so that we don't move on without clarifying the things that you wanted. If you could just mention when she asks, please, it will assist. Oh, Kame, I see there is a question from Kamea.
Yes, Kamaya.
No, I just wanted to say thank you, Rina. It's been clarified from my side.
Okay, I will also put some more detailed information up for you on the group to help with this. But actually, thank you for the questions. It's very nice questions. Anybody else up to here that that would like to ask something? Okay, then it is activity 19, the deeds office. What is a title deed and what does it look like? Well, a title deed is a document that prescribes the property, the exact description of the property, who is the owner, what is the size of the title deed, is there any servitudes, what type of servitudes are there, what can you do on the property, what has it been zoned for. If you haven't seen a title deed, I can put a copy of a title deed for you up as well. That can maybe help you to see what it is. Who has access to title deeds and how? It is the attorneys has the access to the title deeds, and the title deeds are kept in the deeds office. And there's the attorney, when they submit the title deeds, there's 2 copies. The one stays in the deeds office and the other one comes back to the attorney, and the attorney will give it to the bond holder. In most cases, it will go to the bank. The bank will keep it safe because they've got the first bond on the property. If you bought the property cash, then you can have your own title deed. If a title deed gets lost, there must be a registration process in the Government Gazette, and only thereafter the attorney can request a copy of the title deed from the deeds office and open a new original title deed. What is the link between title deeds, land use control? Okay, a title deed is your ID. It's a property ID, meaning, as I said, it describes the property exactly what it is. Now, let's say we've got a property, it's still agricultural land, but you as the owner wants to subdivide the property, and you want to do maybe a development on that property, meaning you will have to rename that property, if I can call it that. So it's original on the title deed described in the deeds office as agricultural land. Now you go to the municipality, you do a full property application for rezoning on that property, and that rezoning, the zoning certificate at the municipality tells you for what can you use the land for at that time then. And only after that has been received from the municipality and approved and going through the whole process, and that process is approximately 18 departments. That is why it's taking so long to get the property rezoned. So, and then you will see for what can you now use that property. And only after that, you can change your title deed to that land use. So the municipality, with their bylaws, determine the land use, but the title deed is like your ID telling you exactly what you can use that property for. So if in the title deed it stands that you cannot do a development there, you cannot do a development there. And even then the municipality, even if they have approved it without looking at the title deed, it's of no force and effect, that then your application is invalid. So the title deed rules everything actually. What is the real estate agent's functions with regards to title deeds? We do not really have a big function on title deeds because the function is between the attorneys and to the sellers and the purchasers, but our function comes in when a client of us wanted to rezone the property, and then we can draw the title deed to make sure that they can still do that process of rezoning. In some instances, especially when you are not 100% sure and you cannot be satisfied on Lightstone, I think we're going to get to this point quite soon with the Poppy Act, where we cannot get hold of the owners to see who is the owners of that property, only a company. Then you have to fall back to the title deed to see to whom it belongs. Now, we can also draw a copy of the title deed on the Wind Deed system. So if your agency where you work are registered on Wind Deed, you will have access to draw a title deed through Wind Deed. You pay for it, but it's not that costly. Any questions to this one?
So, Rina, there's a question around the issue of the one of the title deed and land control, land use control. Say the land got rezoned. What happens between, so who holds the responsibility to change the title deed? So if the land was agriculture when it was bought, and then a few years down the line it gets changed, does it automatically, when the rezoning happen, change the title deed, or there has to be a process to do that, and who's responsible for that?
It is normally I remember the land use control belong to if you get a zoning, that zoning belongs to the property, not to a person. So it all belongs to the property. And when you change your character of that title deed, then it is normally the attorney, the owner or the seller, or it depends on, we did get in the older days where somebody purchased a property conditionally that they do the zoning, and then they purchase the property from the owner, but then they will have obviously to appoint the attorney. But in general, I will say it will be the seller, the owner of the property must do the change of the description of the title deed.
All right, thank you. Because one of the reason I'm raising this is because one of the things that delays, it's not only just the land control, and I've seen that when you're purchasing a property, some of the description, if the changes are not the same, I've seen this even in things like title, what do you call sectional titles, that you find that some sectional titles will include a garage, some don't. If in the offer to purchase, that when they do the transfer, they put those things, and when they check the title deed, it's not correlating, it normally delays. They literally have to redo the work altogether. So it's important to be able to do those checks before and make sure that they are aligned.
That's 100% correct, Moses. But a few years earlier, we couldn't get how we as estate agents did not have the access to the title deeds. So what we normally do is, if we sell something like that, is when I submit it to the attorneys for registration, then we request that they must check on the title deed before we start the whole process to double check. And that is also why the one reason, if an attorney submit to the deeds office, they have to submit with the current title deed plus the new title deed. And those two title deeds must, the descriptions must be the same. It's only the ownership that change.
Thank you.
Then I've got another question. As a buyer, can I appoint my own attorney for property transfer or deeds registration, or only the seller can appoint the attorney? It is first the owner's right to appoint an attorney for the registration process. We as agents must try to avoid a purchaser, if possible, to appoint an attorney, because the purchaser is the one that must arrange finance. The time frame is actually in the hands of the purchaser. So he can request, especially with development land, not so much on residential properties, but development land, he can instruct, because remember, then the purchaser instructs the attorney, and they can play around with time frames, and that can cause big problems. But it is preferably that the seller appoints an attorney. If the seller does not have an attorney, we as an estate agent can say, give the seller 2 or 3 options for attorneys, and they can then pick one for themselves, or one that we can instruct on their behalf to do the registration. I think if the purchaser wants to bring in an attorney, he can bring in an attorney to take care of his own business. Any more questions on this one? Okay, then it is activity number 22, and this is not part of this slide, so I'm quickly going to get it from my other slides. My apologies for this one. I didn't know about this one. 22. It's, no, not this one. Okay, it is Fidelity Fund claims. Let me quickly share this one. Fidelity Fund claims. Now, normally, okay, can you provide examples for each of the instances where the Fidelity Fund payments do not apply? Number 1, if the agent is not a registered agent. Number 2, if it's a rental contract, and remember, a month-to-month rental contract is not in the Consumer Protection Act, then there can be a dispute if there's a problem on the interest. Normally, the interest is the big thing there. Can you provide at least 5 examples where the board is allowed to take legal steps against an estate agent when the estate agent doesn't pay the deposit back, when an estate agent is not registered, if the company is not, or they don't comply with the code of conduct? Let me count what I'm telling you now. And if an estate agent is acting illegal, how can I say, what will under illegal? Say, for instance, yes, they can appoint their own attorney, maybe. We can fall back to the attorneys, and then the attorney can play their tricks there. An estate agent are not really allowed to receive any commission up front unless both parties agree to that. So if the estate agent work with the attorney and the attorney decide to pay the commissions out, that's also examples where the board is allowed to take legal steps. If the Fidelity Fund certificate has been withdrawn, can the agent still continue working for an estate agency in another capacity? If they work in the office as administration, yes, they can. And because they are not selling, you are not allowed to sign any contracts or act as an estate agent if you don't have a Fidelity Fund certificate. With the new property practitioner bill, even the rental agents must be registered. In the past, before the property practitioner bill, a rental agent, as long as they do not sign the rental contract, they can then take out the client, get the application and everything in, and then hand it to the office. So they are not allowed to be involved in physically sign the contract, rental contract, or an offer to purchase. Also, in the past, you can have what we call them sitters, is that on show houses, you can have them to sit in for you, and if a client comes around, they can just take the client through, but they are not allowed to sell to the client. You as the agent must come and step in and sign the offer to purchase and negotiate the transaction with them. So that is also an option. Canvassers, people just getting links for you for properties that is up for sale, that's also permittable. They don't have to be registered there. What evidence would the board require for a Fidelity Fund payment to be authorized? Oh my word, I don't know why they asked this question, because that's always a problem. They will ask for your, or they can ask for a certified copy of your ID and proof of payment to be authorized. And you can't believe it, there was not 1 year that I did not have to go into the board and show them my proof of payment. The payment is in their bank. I don't know how do they reconcile, because the payment is there. They must just allocate it to my account. That's all. So hopefully it will go better from now on. But proof of payment, I think, is the right answer there. Any questions on this one? Has it been answered? Moses, this is only questions that I've received. I don't know if I missed something. If I missed something, please ask that question.
I think those are the questions that we have received. I don't know if anyone has any other question. We didn't necessarily want to go through everything. I mean, some people have already gone through this. The idea was to be able to get where there's hot questions and still allow people to be able to continue do their work, their activities during this time. So I don't know anyone, if there's any other question, that any clarity somewhere else in any of the things that we have covered.
Yeah, and please, even if you didn't answer the ask the question now, you are most welcome to put it on the group, and or you can send it to me directly, and I will definitely help you. And thank you for the questions. I'm definitely going to put some more information up for you. That's not part of the slides or anything, but to help you to answer these questions. Um, so yeah, thank you for this. I think that's then all from my side, Moses.
Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. In the absence of any other question, I'll just go through Venetia. Any questions so far, and how is it going with your activities? Venetia, are you there? Okay, we can move right along. Agnes Ndlovu, how is it going? And I mean, the emphasis into all this is because we want all of us to be able to at least go together. It will help, as you can tell, where we are in terms of activities. If we have many people that are behind, it becomes difficult. So we are really encouraging you to put the time, put in the effort. Let's use this week to be able to at least cover the gap that is there. Venetia, go ahead.
Hi, I can't really comment much on the activities because I don't really have access. I just recently requested for access to my LMS. So I am quite far behind, and
Okay.
I believe they are assisting me with that. They're working on it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you. And is that the case for your group? You already are part of a group, right?
I need to find out because I just got I was not in the mailing list, so I haven't been receiving emails since the start of the course. However, Ritabile added me to her group. I don't know if it's the rightful group I should be in. I just need to
Yes.
find out about that.
All right. No, thank you. Apologies for those delays, but we will assist you. Get connected with the group. Most of the things are already there in the LMS, and some of the group members would have already received things. But I think, Rina, the emphasis is that let's just make sure that all the things are available in the LMS and people can be able to get there. But welcome on board, and let's get cracking, Venetia. Lots of work ahead, but you can catch up, and we are available to be able to assist. Kamea,
Hi, sorry. I'm also not a part of the group and I do not receive any emails either or the links to the classes.
thank you. We will make sure we note that, Rina and Bridget,
Yes.
please, if you can assist to note Kamea, Venetia, let's make sure we allocate them in the right group. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Agnes Ndovu.
Yeah, I was also not receiving the email. Only when Kabelo sent, then I received my emails. But I'm in the group, then yeah, I am on activity 18 now. At least I'm trying to push.
Okay. All right. So these are group activities. Again, we urge you to work together, assist one another in a group, and let's push, Agnes. We are getting there. We are here to assist. Thank you. Clem Ferreira. Okay, Ritabile, I note you.
It's written. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. I actually spoke to the Venetian to actually absorb in our group because most of the people who are still in our group, they're not
like part of the group per se. So hence I absorbed her to be part of the group. So I'm not sure if there was a lady last week who actually announced that her group, all of them, they're no longer participating, or she's the only one in the group, and she was saying that she stays around Pretoria. So I assumed that maybe she can be part of our group if she's like serious with being, getting a group that is more active. Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen. And another thing, I have a challenge with sending, like getting emails. So I'm not sure if because the only emails that I get will be the ones that are from Kabelo. So I'm not sure if like there's like emails that are sent through to everyone, like, where we are able to get access to the links, all the materials and everything, because I even spoke to Kabelo about the LMS, so that because it's much easier when things are on LMS. So they actually tried to fix some of the things that are just on the system to be able to access them, and I managed to download most of the materials and all. But I'm just saying that if the LMS can be, really active, and we could see that it could actually be updated, frequently, because it's like it's way behind with a lot of things. So it will be much easier for us to be able to access things. You can see you have an assignment due. So I think if you guys can work on that, can you please? It's actually more convenient to see on the portal, because as soon as you open the portal, it's actually user friendly, ne? But it's actually easier when you open it. You will see, okay, there's an email, there's a message coming in that says you have something, it's due. So if the system can be updated, it will actually make our life easier, because this WhatsApp thing, sometimes you don't see all these things. It's just a train smash for us, please.
Okay. Thank you. We'll definitely sort that out, Ritabide. We'll make sure that it's well updated. My team is here. They are noting some of these challenges, and will ensure that they are sorted. We really appreciate that. Thank you, Ritabide. Let's go to current, Kabel. Current. I'm just gonna randomly look at people, ne, so that we don't go through everyone. Mdluli, Sonia's Mdluli, any challenges? How is the activities going? Okay, it's like we have people who are not here. So let Rich, I like that name, Rich.
Yeah, I must confess, I also like it.
Oh, I actually love it rather.
Yeah, I'm spreading it over my life.
Yes, how's it going?
Well, I think we're quite further than other people, but yeah, Marina answered the question that I was struggling with. So yeah, it's helpful to discuss this, with people, because it's difficult on your own sometimes.
Yes. Awesome. All right. There you go. You can hear she's here. They've already gone through a whole lot of activities, and let's encourage one another. We are a team working together. Of course, there are groups, but I think we can be able to reach out to one another. Thank you, Sulet. Tulani, how about you? How's it going?
Good evening. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of challenges, but together with the group, but we've been marching ahead. Just on my side as well, I haven't been getting emails or links to the classes, so I've been asking some of my group members to assist me with that.
Right.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I'm no longer getting those emails. Then in terms of WhatsApp, Bridget just assisted me just before class to add me back on the WhatsApp group. So I guess I'll get the other content there.
Okay.
And then I have another question on the LMS real estate legislation, for real estate legislation. I'm not sure on my side, there's nothing coming up anymore on under real estate legislation.
Okay. Thank you, Tulani. Rina?
Yes, Moses. I first want to mention one thing about the links, is that the links from now on is not going to change anymore. So whatever link you use tonight, you can keep using it forever to log into the every night's training. So don't stress about the links. We are going to keep and use the same link. And then on the legislation part, I will just double check what is going on there. We will definitely make sure that with your name, it is there's nothing wrong maybe to pull through, but we will make sure that everything is there. I did make a note out of that so that we know what to look. I'll talk to Bridget as well and to Cabello's to check on that one. And on the emails, I don't know for what reason the emails that I sent out went to the spam boxes. So I'm now using Merge, and it is working. So from now on, that will also be sorted. Thanks.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Just another two things on my side. For activity 10, I'm not sure if Rina can assist with this. Our group, we were so divided about what was given to our group. I'm wondering if you can assist us with that. Sorry, Rina. Activity 10, where the facilitator allocated 3 laws for us to discuss. We seem to have divided approaches on that. So we just wanted to confirm the 3 laws for our group, which is group 1.
Okay. All right. Thank you. What was your understanding, Tulani?
There's 3 laws that were given by Unumisa that day. As I say, I don't have my laptop and phone, they were stolen. So I don't have my previous notes. And then with our group members, we were not sure which 3 laws, because the one that was mentioned, unfortunately, I don't even have that file open near me. They weren't corresponding. So we want to confirm for our group 1, what are the 3 laws that we needed to look at?
Okay. All right. Noted. Rina will flag that on the activity slide. If we can maybe look at that just before we close. Any other query, any other question, ladies and gentlemen, before we tackle Tulani's question? Thank you, Tulani. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Anyone else? And then we can tackle this question, and I think we can close here after that question. Any other question? Wayne, Waynand, anything from your side? Theo, Sonia's, Richard, Melody, any other? If there is none, Rina, if you can just put that slide on activity 10,
Okay.
then we can clarify on it.
I will do that.
While the activity is still being open, can I also ask if there are members who are inactive in the group, we can't get hold of them and they're not participating, how should we go about that? We have 2 of our 6 members that we can't really get responses from emails, call, and the WhatsApp group that we created.
I think you must bring it under our attention, then we can assist on that matter.
Okay, I'll WhatsApp it to you.
Okay, this is, I think you missed it, Tilani, in the group. I have put this activity in. So if you don't mind, just WhatsApp me. I'll send it to you at the side. We did give you the laws of the 3 activities. The group, how it was allocated.
All right.
Is that
All right. Thank you.
fine? Will you
Thank you, Rina.
WhatsApp me?
I'll
Then
WhatsApp
I
you.
can send you the details on this one.
Yes, we'll do. Thank you.
Yeah, it was sent on the group. So if you don't mind, send it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was no longer on the group. That's why I called you, I think, last week and asked if you can help me get back on the group.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. No, we will sort that. Okay.
All right.
Any other questions?
Yeah, we've got Melody, and then I saw a hand.
Hi, Kabelo. For me, I'm still waiting to be placed in a group, but for individual activities, I think I'm sorted.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Melody. It's Moses, by the way. Kabelo, it's Moses who's speaking today.
Okay, sorry.
No worries, Melody. We will allocate you. We'll note that, Rina, and let's allocate her accordingly. In the absence of any other question, ladies and gentlemen, let's use this time to be able to catch up. Rina, as I understand, we're resuming our classes back on Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday, and we're going ahead on Monday. So please, it is very important that we can finish this. I think this is the, I won't say most difficult part, but because it's the laws and you have to know this. And that's why I emphasize it, because it's part of your exam. That, you know, you must know the laws, you must know the details of this. It's part of real estate. If you don't know it, you're really going to battle in the future.
All right.
That's why we like to have it done. Thanks. Thank you, Moses.
I see there's another hand from Maxwell. Maxwell, last shot from you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I've got a challenge on my LMS as well, especially on the real estate platform. Whenever I open, then it shows an error now.
Okay, Maxwell, if you could just send a message, Rina, who can they send this to? Is it directly to Mnasi or to Bridget?
They can send actually to either one of us, then we will forward it. But if they've got Munasi's number, they can just forward it to Munasi or to Bridget. Actually, Bridget can also check, so rather let her send it to Bridget.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Please.
Thank you. Just
Hello,
screenshot of the message. Yes, Munasi.
Yeah, I did leave my number on the group, so anyone with challenges can contact me directly.
If you can put it again, Mr. Munasi, again on the group, just so that those who are out, they can see it now.
All right, I'll know.
Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been great. I hope we're getting to edify one another. Let's gear up. Those who are behind, use this time. It's cold. I understand we're not going out as often. It's good when we are cozy at home. Let's do the activities. See you again. Let's catch up next week, Monday. We are continuing with the numeracy next week. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening and take care. Stay safe.